Fear from No Love Lost 2.0, and welcome back to the show. So today I want to talk about breeding. So it's a big culture in the gay community that people like to have unprotected sex and get breeded. I don't know what that particularly is about, but it's something that I just wanted to talk about because I noticed that a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I want you to breed me. I want you to breed me." I know when I was a single man and when I've been on my own, that every time I would link up with somebody, they would be like, "Oh, I want you to breed me." And I used to be like, I don't understand. How does it that you want somebody to breed you that you have never met, that you know nothing about, and you know nothing about their medical history? But at the same time, when I was younger, I didn't think like that. I just was like, oh, you want to be breeded? I got you, you know? So it's just like, what it comes down to is, I don't know where that came from in the culture, like especially the gay culture, especially with gay men. But people want to be breeded and people want to mix, their DNA. But sometimes people can't handle the fact that everything that comes with a lot. That comes with letting somebody take something from you, possibly if they give you something that you'll have to deal with for the rest of your life. I know too many people who have literally ended up in situations where they caught a STI, one that they couldn't get rid of, or STI that they had to go get rid of because they wanted to be breeded or they were breeding somebody. I think everybody has, who doesn't like unprotected sex? Nobody really likes to use condoms, but at the same time, the reality of the situation is if you're going to be mixing your fluids with people that you don't know, you probably should. It took for me to get older to realize, like, ooh, I am so blessed that I don't, I never got nothing far as got nothing where it had to stay with me. And, I definitely was free of that situation. But it does happen to people. Like I did talk about in the last episode how my ex partner ended up catching the disease while we were not, like towards the end of our relationship where we were no longer having sexual relations, they had caught HIV. So I am so blessed that that's not my situation. But it tends to be a lot of people's situations in the gay community where I have so many friends who are rampant with not just HIV, they have other STDs. And I just be looking at them like, it's not about judgment. It's more so like, hey, did you think about yourself when you were putting yourself in this situation? Did you really sit up here and say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? But in the heat of the moment, who doesn't just be like, fuck it, I'm going to just do it? Everybody has that mindset until the consequences come from those actions. Nobody wants to deal with the consequences, but everybody wants to indulge in the fun. But that moment of 30 to 45 minutes of fun, that may leave you with a lifetime of a prescription, So it's like, hey, like I want to encourage my fellow LGBTQ members to like, hey, I'm not even saying practice abstinence because that ain't easy. I'm a married man, so I can't do that. But even if I wasn't, I probably couldn't do it. I probably couldn't do it anyway. But I have tried. Don't get me wrong. I have tried, but that shit feel too good. That pussy be just, like eating it and all that shit. Eating that pussy make you want to just do things to it. So it's just like, I definitely know the situation. The breed culture is out of control. People having these parties, the bug parties, people trying to catch the monster, people trying to catch, and when I use the word monster, I'm using, it for the HIV term because I don't want to use that too much. But yeah, people catching the monster, people catching herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, and not even sitting here thinking about like, hey, was it really worth that 45 minutes of pleasure? Like, calm down. I don't know what the obsession with wanting to trade fluids is for people. And that's not just bottoms, that's tops too. Like just wanting to bust in people. Like, it's bad enough that you're already having unprotected sex. Damn, you gonna sit up there and fill somebody up with your juices. And that goes for heterosexuals as well. Like women out here having babies by people they don't even know their last name. And then sit up here wondering why you gotta deal with that situation for the rest of your life. Hey, when you made that conscious decision not to use that rubber, or if you choose to practice abstinence, if you choose to be a side, which is somebody who doesn't want to be penetrated, but they like to please other people or be pleased, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be conditioned to understanding everything comes with a consequence. Everything comes with a retraction. Everything comes with a boomerang effect. Sometimes the boomerang effect don't hit you, but if you keep playing the game, it definitely will. You have to take that into consideration that when you sitting here putting yourself out there in the world and allowing people to trade fluids with you and letting people bust in you or you busting in them, it definitely sets you up for something bad. Like I know, like I have been in relationships where I actually have never used a condom with a person. Like I never used the condom, and I didn't also say, "Hey, go get tested" either. Like, come on, let's be real. Who hasn't done that? Everybody that's an adult has been with somebody that they didn't ask for their information. But the thing about it is, that's a risk that you take. So whatever consequences come with it, you have to be responsible enough to understand that. I'm all for the fun. I'm all for the games. I'm all for do what you do and love what you do and have fun with what you do. But you have to really be prepared mentally for the consequences that may come with those actions. If you live a certain lifestyle, things are going to happen that you are not going to be in control in. That's why sometimes people say, oh, you live in an unruly lifestyle. Sometimes that has nothing to do with the church and with the Bible. Sometimes that has to be with you putting out energy, you putting out certain things into the world, and you can't expect people to sit up here and just gravitate to your behaviors. It doesn't work like that. That's not real life. I feel like this. If you're gonna get busted in, please be on PrEP. Please be on anything that is gonna protect you from ending up in a situation that you'll never be able to get rid of. And that's not just for the monster. That's for other things out there in the world. Like a lot of people are walking around here with herpes. Look at the Usher situation where people were suing him. Listen, it doesn't matter your status and finances. Anybody is capable of carrying anything. So that's the reality. What looks good on the inside, look good on the outside, may not mean that it's good on the inside. And you have to be prepared for that situation. You have to be prepared for anything that you do that happens in life. If you sitting out here giving this one and that one ass, and they not using condoms, and you end up with something, you sitting here mad at that person. No, you have to take accountability. You have to take accountability that you participated. Unless you were raped and it was something done against you, against your will. And even if you didn't know that a person had something, you still have to hold yourself accountable, because allowing someone to have unprotected sex with you and you have unprotected sex with them puts you in it's like Russian roulette. It's definitely a gamble, and you have to be ready to take that risk if you're going to choose to do that, which we all have. I know I have. And I know that when I was younger and when I was like 18, I was friends with which I still am friends with, a friend of mine. And he and me both had these guys that we were talking to. One guy was his boyfriend, the other guy, I was just talking to him. So my friend went and slept with the guy I was talking to. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go sleep with your boyfriend. Well, guess what? I went and slept with his boyfriend. He went and slept with the guy I was talking to. And what it came down to is we were fucking nasty for that shit, because we over here swapping bodies and then laughing about it. Because then I remember my friend's boyfriend was like, oh, he thought he was telling my friend like, oh yeah, that's why Zafia fucked me or whatever. But meanwhile, I already had told my friend, was like, oh, I had to get my lick back since you fucked the nigga I was talking to. I went and fucked your boyfriend. And my friend laughed. Like this is the reality of life. People think shit like this is funny. Like when I was 18, 19, honestly, I thought things were funny. I did not really take anybody serious that I was dogging out or dicking down. It was more so like, hey, you know what? You want it, I'm going to give it to you, and it is what it is. But we got to retract and go back to this. Now I done put myself in a situation where, God forbid, what if I had caught a situation and got caught slipping? You know what I mean? Just trying to get that lick back. But that lick back ain't worth it. I know I've gotten to a point in life now where I don't care to get no lick back. Leave me alone. If you not for me, get away from me. I don't even care to get your back, talk shit, or cuss you out. I literally will hang up the phone on you, block your number, and keep it pushing like the day has, like it never happened in my day. I am all about peace. I'm all about living life in peace. And sometimes breeding does not come with peace. Breeding people does not come with peace. Now, I am a married man, so I am breeding my man whenever I can. So, because that's a different situation. That's somebody that I set up there and made a commitment to sit up here and always align myself with them and be only with them. Now, God forbid if a situation arose, then that means that me and that person would have to handle that. Me and my husband. But I'm not here for that, and he not here for that. Neither one of us want to be put in situations where, when we were single, out here risking our lives and messing with other people, that you end up on a prescription for life. I am on PrEP. I do recommend that my fellow LGBTQ members and heterosexual people get on PrEP, because a lot of these men are DL. A lot of these men are sleeping with men. A lot of these men like dick in their butt. A lot of these men like to put dick in butt and not in vagina, but they sitting here walking around and representing themselves as straight men. And the thing about it is, they're not being honest with themselves because it's too hard for them. It's a risk, because the reality is that people have been pushed to hide who they are based on the condition of what society may think of them. Instead of just saying, no, you're not just a freak, nigga. You like men. You like men. You like women. If you like what you like. But at the same time, people are scared to say that because they know what the risk comes with being black, being gay, being brown, being gay. You already know what it comes to. Society is not going to give us the privilege that our counterparts of the Caucasus may get. The Caucasus people may get a damn reality show. They may get, on these appearances, on these red carpets, but the reality is it's harder for brown people because we are conditioned to, oh, you're not masculine if you're a homosexual. You're not masculine if you like men. But the thing about it is, why is it more effective for the Caucasus people to have a peaceful life and not be judged? But when it comes to the brown people, it's definitely a situation where it's looked at harder. And I'm not saying that they don't go do this similar things with families and friends and the reality of being pushed out, because it happens. It does. But what it comes down to is it is a little easier for them than it is for brown people. And that's for my fellow Hispanics, Indians, black, whatever you are that's brown, that's not Caucasus. So you have to think about that how you move and how they move is not going to be same in the corporate world. In the corporate world, being an openly gay man is not that easy. You have to learn how to tone it down. And that's for the ones that are over the top. And I'm not saying anything against that, because if you're naturally over the top, shout outs to you living your truth. I respect anybody that is honest with who they are and they respect who they are as a person. They don't allow people to condition them to be smaller, because nobody should have to knock their energy down or knock their light down to feed into somebody else having a better life or somebody being more comfortable. But at the same time, you do know how to walk in these rooms. It's the same thing with us brown people. You got to know how to walk in these rooms. You got to know how to carry yourself in these rooms, because in order to get far, sometimes you do have to shut that light down a little bit, which it is disappointing. But you know what? A lot of gay men are very successful because we are about our business. And I'm not saying heterosexual men aren't. But what it comes down to is we are about our business. We are about getting that bag. We're not here about just playing around. But some of them are. Some people are just conditioned to getting on Twitter and busting it wide open. And like, I had a friend from Florida. He was in a whole relationship with his partner, thinking his partner was a top, this manly man. And then come to find out, I think I end up seeing it on Pornhub. I end up seeing his spouse getting dogged out by a big Jamaican black man, literally just killing his shit with a 13-inch cock. Like, it's crazy, but that's what it was. And I said, friend, your dude is a porn star. He said, no, he not. And I'm like, friend, I seen your dude on Pornhub getting dicked down by a big Jamaican cock. And he was like, what? No, he's a top. He's a top. And I'm like, nah, he ain't no top, friend. He ain't no top. But you know what? That's what it was. And now look at him. He is a free agent. Him and my friend are not together no more. He out here bottoming and getting busted in for the world. Mind you, this man does have the monster and is openly fucking any and everybody raw. No condoms. He's on Twitter too. I ain't gonna give y'all his Twitter handle, but I know quite a few people who are walking around here with STDs in the monster and out here just doing it raw with any and everybody because they don't feel like they have to tell. And I even be like, listen, people are responsible and conditioned for themselves. I'm not saying it's right for somebody to contract something without knowing, but the reality of the situation is, people, you have to be able to carry yourself in a way where you don't end up in that situation. I know a few years ago when I lived in New York, I had a friend who lived in Queens, and he was going on a date with a guy, nice looking guy. He wasn't nice looking. The only thing that was nice about him is he had nice eyes, but he was regular. He was regular schmegular. So whatever the case would be, he went out. The guy, he didn't even. I think you see, my friend liked the guy, so he told him, he was like, "Hey, I got X, Y, and Z." My friend told the guy he had the monster, and the guy was like, "Oh, okay, I don't have it." Right? This is what the guy said. He said he don't have it. Their first date, my friend brings him back to his house, and they start having sex. Right? That guy didn't even ask for a condom or anything. He literally let my friend go up in him raw dog. Now, mind you, my friend is positive for the monster. But at the same time, it's just like, my friend did tell him, a lot of people will not tell you. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not going to tell you what their situation is, and that they're carrying stuff that they can't get rid of, you know? So you have to be mindful of that. What one person will do, one other people won't do. And then what that told me was, I said, either he on prep, friend, or he got the monster too, and he just didn't want to tell you. But the fact that you move in and somebody tells you that they got the monster and you allow them to still busting you, that says a lot. And I'm not saying it's wrong to mess with people who are positive, because people who are positive and know their status and are undetectable, you're more likely not to get anything from them as far as the monster, because they know their status, they're on their medication, they're keeping up with a regimen. Those are the people that I respect, people who are open and honest about it. That doesn't mean the world knows, but that means that the person that they lay down with, they know what the situation is. You know, I have quite a few friends, because I am a part of the LGBT community. I have quite a few friends who have HIV and have gonorrhea, who have had gonorrhea, who still have syphilis for life, who still have herpes, are on medication. And, you know, this is no disrespect to them, but they all have said openly and honestly, like, it was their own fault. You know, and anything that I have put myself in a situation with, that would be my own fault too. So we have to be honest with ourselves and stop trying to blame everybody for the things that we end up doing to ourselves and what we allow to happen to ourselves. Take responsibility for yourself. That's the message that I want people to understand. I'm not saying don't go to the sex parties, don't have fun, don't cruise in the park in New York City, you know, because that's what they do. Don't go down to the pier, because that's what they do, you know, or in Atlanta. But we have to be honest. The rapid disease of HIV it's just catastrophic. It's like a tsunami coming to wipe out everything. The numbers only continue to go up. So what that means is those numbers don't just trickle down to the brown community. They trickle into the Caucasus community. They trickle into the heterosexual community, because you have men out here taking dick or giving dick and who are gay and who are DL and still sleeping with women. I have 9 sisters, even if I don't fuck with all of them. I have openly said to my sisters, I don't want y'all messing with no man that is sleeping with men or laying down with men. I said, because I know what the reality of the situation is. I know what goes down. I don't want my sisters wrapped up in that, and I don't want them wrapped up in with no ignorant heterosexual men either. But if I know, like, I had met one of my sister's guys, and as soon as I met him, we walked into the bar. She was like, "Oh, I want you to meet this guy that I've been talking to." I'm like, "I ain't bet." So I meet him or whatever. I said, "Oh, he gay." Just like that. And she was like, "What?" I said, "I seen him before. He gay." I said, "I seen him in the gay club. He gay. Get away from him. He gay." She said, "You think so?" Why it took months later for her to realize what I already had told her. I had told you. I wasn't telling you to ruin your relationship. I wasn't telling you to shit on your relationship. I was telling you, listen, my sister, my blood, flesh of my flesh. Leave that man alone. That man is a hetero. That man say he's hetero. That man is gay. I said, that man is sleeping with men. That man is mad at himself because he's not being honest with himself and he's not living in his truth. So he tends to sit here and try to attack the people in the LGBT community to cover up the reality of his. I seen that nigga in the gay bar. I seen him at the gay club. I seen him in gay areas participating in activities that was not of a heterosexual man. So, like I told her, he likes to be breeded. Breed it. So make sure y'all follow No Love Lost. We are on No Love Lost 2.0. I apologize. I am on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. You can stream all episodes from season 1 and season 2, as well as you can stream on YouTube as well. You can catch No Love Lost 2.0 on YouTube. Just type it in. You'll see me come up and you'll get all the episodes, as well as I have vlogs on there as well as I have other story times. I have cooking videos up there. Make sure y'all continue to show that love to the page. And remember, it's one love. Don't let the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. And don't forget to subscribe and share and keep showing that love.